All right, Sagittarius, welcome to your chakra tarot read. Quick look into the 7 main chakras. Hope you are doing well. So for February 2021, let's take a look. Let's see what shows up for the root chakra for you. And that's 3 cards already, so we'll go with that. First card that shows up is 7 of Swords, followed by Ace of Pentacles. So 7 of Swords in reverse, excuse me. Followed by Ace of Pentacles, and then the Chariot card. So you've really had something show up here to help you overcome a particular fear here, which I'm going to get into in a second, that just really helped you to recognize that whatever happens, you're going to be able to face it. So here's the thing. So for some of you, you might have experienced some betrayal of some sort. The fact that it's in reverse, because usually when that's red, it's usually upright. The fact that it's in reverse, though, I feel like you found out early enough, whatever that was, whatever betrayal it was, and whether someone was cheating on you, whether someone talked behind your back. It doesn't have to be is super big, if you know what I'm talking about, but just enough to know that someone wasn't being fully honest with you. That really kind of stopped you in your tracks, Sag. So the thing is, when you are, with what I'm feeling here, with what you have come to understand, is that things are not necessarily always black and white. I feel like you're beginning to see more of the gray areas, and maybe even perhaps owning your part in it, which is huge. If that is you, kudos to you, because that is definitely a way to heal and to prevent this cycle from occurring again. Because if you stayed in blame, judgment, victimization, then you're most likely you'll attract someone who will do the same thing again to you. That's just how it works energetically. So the fact that the Ace of Pentacles in the center here, I know these cards are really iridescent. The fact that, that's square in the middle tells me that you are seeing your value here. You're feeling even a little bit better about yourself because of what you recognized with whoever was involved, and also to what you could do to change it. So this is actually really, really good for the root chakra because fear of betrayal is a big thing for people who've been really, really hurt in the past. And that doesn't have to maintain that cycle. No one ever has to maintain that cycle. It's our choice to break it as long as we learn the lessons. All right, so sacral chakra, 2 of Swords. So Sagittarius, what I'm getting with this is that you've had the ability to make a decision, a choice. It's always a choice about how you want to feel. So when it comes to the emotional energy housed in the sacral area, I think that you're beginning to see how your emotions are a choice. And it does feel like there's something here either between anger, there's anger, apathy that I'm getting, as well as shame. Anger is probably the highest vibrating out of those 3, just simply because anger can actually motivate you to do something, to rectify something, reconcile something. with apathy, you know, it's kind of more on the neutral side because you don't put energy into anything, but you're beginning to see what, you know, the choices in how you feel is going to affect that center. Um, I have a feeling that there's some of you, especially if you're female, that you might be having some um, reproductive tract issues. So whether that's problems with your period, problems getting pregnant, cysts, fibroids, you know, this is something you've probably been dealing with for a while. But as you begin to emotionally heal and begin to see that you have choices, and that starts with your beliefs. That's why we're looking at swords. Starts with your beliefs and you understanding, hey, I don't want to feel this way anymore. I don't want to feel angry. I don't want to feel ashamed of myself when there's no reason for me to. So I feel like, you know, you're kind of in the beginning stages of this. And that's actually a good thing. The awareness is great. So keep that up. Remember that you always have a choice, and not that you can't feel anything that's more on the negative side. If that's something that is a trigger for you, that's something that you will have to work through. But, you know, that's definitely workable. It's definitely doable. You have to feel to heal, but understand that moving forward, as you've healed from something, you have the choice moving forward. I always ask my clients, you know, now that you've been in this particular situation that you're presenting to me, what would you do differently next time? That is what I would say to you too, that whatever situation this is, that has, you know, that you've been addressing here in the root chakra and moving up to the sacral, you understand what it is that you don't want to feel. So what are you going to do in the future to begin to change that response over time? Change the reaction into a response. So let's take a look at the solar plexus. Okay, we're getting 3 cards again. 7 of Pentacles, followed by the Emperor, and then the Ace of Swords. So there's something here that you've really invested in. You've done a lot of work in. Might even be something physical, you know, besides something more mental or emotional that you've invested in. But there's something here that you're beginning to see. It may not necessarily be as much worth your time anymore. The Emperor and the Ace of Swords feels like you're stepping into something new. You have some new ideas that are coming to you right now, and this is a good time to take advantage of them. It's a good time to act upon them. If you're getting inspiration, or what I like to call downloads in the form of, you know, this is a great project, I'm getting nudges to, you know, to go towards this thing, then it's time to do it. It's okay to stop something, even if you've worked hard at something for a long time. If it's time to let that go, it's time to let that go. Okay, so give yourself permission to do that. Um, you know, and the Emperor energy with this feels like it feels like this is something that you might have even done before. Whatever nudge that you're getting right now, this feels like it feels very familiar to you, and you can take it a long way. Okay, so if that resonates with you, go for it. Go for whatever that project is. Otherwise, work on letting go to allow for new things to come into view. Whatever it has, that whatever you've been doing for a while, and you find like it's just not as fulfilling anymore. It's just not really working for you, not lighting your fire like it used to. Then it's time to move on to the next thing. So, heart, Sagittarius, heart. Okay, so again, 3 cards. I think this is just kind of how it's going to be. So we have Page of Wands in reverse, followed by 2 of Wands in reverse, and then the World card upright. So you're feeling, I'm sensing that you're feeling indecisive about something. it feels like, okay, so interesting enough, after the solar plexus, it feels like two things might be kind of pulling on your heartstrings, or perhaps two people pulling on your heartstrings. And it's almost like you kind of want everything, but you know that you can't. So yeah, you really need to, because this is in the heart center, you want to tap into the intelligence of your heart. Close your eyes, put your hand over your heart, and ask you which is the direction to go in. Ask yourself, your higher self is going to respond. When you close your eyes, it turns your attention inward. And wherever you place your hand on your body is where your awareness goes. And so you want to draw the attention to the heart center. And the heart center is the center of our infinite intelligence. And so you can have the world. You can, the world can be your oyster in this particular context. Um, and but you can't sit in indecision. You can't sit in indecision, otherwise it feels like whatever this is might end up passing you by, right? So throat, center, Sagittarius. Oh, I keep getting 3 cards. 4 of Cups, Death card in reverse, and then High Priestess. So I don't think that you have a problem with saying no. I really don't. But you might be explaining yourself a little bit too much if you decline something. You might be apologizing too. And with the High Priestess, though, it almost feels like you are kind of, there's something here where you're going against your inner knowing too. So this almost feels like a combo of different things. You need to make sure that your ego doesn't get in the way of your voice. Because when you express yourself authentically and not from a place of fear or anger, guarding yourself, defensiveness, or expressing yourself to kind of hide the shame, and that's usually what it is with if you say no and have to explain yourself all the time, or you're apologizing all the time, that's a shame thing. So this kind of feels like in some ways you might be going against your inner knowing, like almost kind of like you say certain things, you're like, I just know that I didn't need to do all that. I didn't need to go, say all of that stuff. It's not necessary. And you're right, it isn't. So that's something then that you can work on for the throat center. Third eye. Sagittarius, February 2021, third eye. Okay, this is a lot. This is a lot here. Okay, so let's go. Sun, 6 of Cups in reverse. Queen of Wands in reverse. And the Hermit in reverse. Okay. Sagittarius, it's interesting. I feel like you're doing a lot of affirmations, but it's not working for you. And the reason why it's not working for you is because your frequency has to change in order for affirmations to work, in order for the visions that you're creating for your future, in order for you to make them very, very real to you. This is one of the things that I work on with my clients too, with my energy clearings, so that way their vibrational frequency can change. So whatever it is that you can do to change that on your own, it may take a little bit of time. Meditation is always a great thing. you have to practice a different state of being in order for the sun, in order for the sun card to, play in. Because with the Six of Cups in reverse, Queen of Wands, Hermit in reverse, it almost feels um, like you're a little bit nervous to be introspective right now. You really don't want to take a look at your childhood. You might not want to take a look at how you might have been wounded either by your mom or just, the feminine wounds in general, whether you're a man or a woman, by the way. So, we both genders can have feminine wounds. So it's important to this is an important thing to recognize when it comes to your energy. You do want to spend the time healing. Otherwise, even if you gain a little bit of success, it might be short-lived, or you might feel like you hit a ceiling or there's a cap on what it is that you're trying to do. So let's take a look at the crown chakra, please. Crown chakra, please. Justice. In the crown chakra, remember that if you're always trying to seek that things are always equal or fair, you're probably going to have a hard time, because things may not always turn out to be an equalization, even though we tend to look for that. We tend to look for the balancing of the scales, as it were. So what I would say to this, though, is, if you let go of the expectations for fairness all the time, for justice all the time, not saying that you can't stand up for yourself. I'm not saying that you can't have healthy boundaries. I'm not saying that you can't, take back your power if someone, violated that. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, as you're kind of going through your everyday, if you're always looking for everything to be 50-50 with your partner, or if you're always looking for everything to be 50-50 with your parents or your friends or at work, for everyone to kind of be equal, you're going to set yourself up for some major disappointment. And that constant seeking of that is always going to have some sort of level of control over you. And it can really hinder you from stepping out, because you're waiting either for the other shoe to drop, or you're waiting for someone to grant you that equalization in whatever capacity that you're looking for. And if you're waiting for someone else, something outside of you, to make you feel good on the inside, it's not going to work. Okay, so keep that in mind. I feel like you need to let go of some expectations here when it comes to that, in whatever context that is, whether that's on a major level, like with society, or just kind of in your personal reality. Okay, so if these resonated with you, please comment below, click to subscribe, and share. Always appreciate you watching. I do private readings as well, so if you're interested in that, then please feel free to message me or take a look on my website. I will see you next time.